Renako receives an unexpected confession from Mai at school one day, catching her completely off guard. During lunch, she tries her best to act normal, laughing along and keeping pace with the conversation. But the pressure of pretending wears on her quickly. Unable to handle the nerves, she abruptly excuses herself from the group and rushes to the rooftop. There, with no one around, she finally exhales. She leans against the railing, reflecting on her struggles. Socializing has never come easy to her, especially since middle school. Back then, she began noticing how everyone had someone, friends, partners, people they could naturally be themselves around. Meanwhile, she was always left out and alone. Determined to change, she made a bold decision to transform herself. She changed her appearance, practiced being outgoing, and enrolled in a new high school where no one knew her past. Her mother and older sister praised the shift, happy as she was growing out of her introversion. For Renako, this was her chance to live a normal, ordinary school life. However, meeting Mai had changed things. Mai is a model admired by nearly everyone, and the daughter of a famous fashion designer. Mai seemed to be everything Renako wasn't. Yet when Renako nervously introduced herself to Mai, something incredible happened. Mai welcomed her. From that day forward, Renako became part of Mai's group. But even surrounded by new friends, she couldn't shake the feeling that she didn't belong. Among the effortlessly dazzling girls, Renako always saw herself as the odd one out. She saw herself as the ugly duckling. She tried hard to keep up. The strain of acting cheerful and confident all the time was beginning to show. The rooftop had become her only sanctuary, the one place where she could drop the act even for just a little while. Mai suddenly appears on the roof and freezes when she sees Renako by the railing. Misunderstanding the situation, she panics thinking Renako is about to jump. She bolts forward and yells out, startling Renako, who stumbles and falls over the edge. Without hesitation, Mai leaps after her, managing to grab hold of Renako midair. Mai reassures her that they'll be okay since she has incredible luck. They land miraculously unharmed on some branches, but Mai's trembling voice gives away that she actually doubted her luck for a bit. Mai explains that she'd noticed something was off with Renako lately, so she decided to follow her. Renako quickly clarifies that she wasn't planning anything drastic. She had just wanted to enjoy the breeze, and Mai's sudden appearance startled her into falling. Realizing she caused the fall, Mai's expression darkens with guilt. Renako quickly tries to reassure her that it was an accident. Finally, Renako opens up. She tells Mai the truth, that it's hard for her to keep up with conversations. She constantly second-guesses everything she says, afraid she's always saying the wrong thing. Mai listens silently. Her expression remains smiling as if she didn't really understand Renako's troubles. Suddenly, Mai thinks she has been pressuring Renako this whole time, and the guilt starts to show on her face. Renako, noticing it, quickly speaks up to reassure her. She explains that she's not being pressured. She's just a regular introvert. Spending time with people, even with someone she likes as much as Mai, can be draining. She tells Mai that she genuinely enjoys talking with her, but just takes a lot of energy to keep up. Mai gently pats Renako on the back, saying that she can relate at least a little. She admits that although she thrives in social settings, she often feels invisible, like people only see the model version of her, not who she really is. That loneliness creeps in sometimes, no matter how many friends surround her. She apologizes for showing a weaker side of herself, but Renako immediately responds that it's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, seeing this vulnerable side of Mai is oddly refreshing and encouraging. Renako tells her that constantly performing a role is exhausting, and she admires Mai for handling it with such grace. If anything, she believes Mai deserves a break too. Mai is clearly moved. It's as though a heavy burden has been lifted from her. She thanks Renako, her voice lighter now, and they make a promise to be real friends from now on. And then for the first time, Renako calls Mai by her first name. She pulls out a key to the rooftop and tells Mai that they can meet at the rooftop and confide in each other if ever they feel like they need a break from acting. Mai pulls out a matching key, and they make a promise on both keys. Back in the classroom, Renako returns first and tries to calm her worried friends after her earlier exit. But before she can find the right words, Mai arrives and steps in, effortlessly easing everyone's concerns by saying that Renako just needed some air. Watching her, Renako can't help but admire Mai all over again. Everyone loves her, but Renako is grateful to be someone who knows the real Mai. Deep inside, she hopes that one day they'll be best friends. The next day on the rooftop, Mai meets Renako and out of nowhere, confesses her love. Renako steps back stunned. She leans on the railing, trying to process what she just heard as it feels impossible. Mai calmly approaches her and points out that Renako isn't seeing anyone, so it shouldn't be a problem. With sparkles in her eyes, Mai explains softly that she's never opened up to anyone before. But with Renako, something was different. Being vulnerable with her and felt exhilarating. She couldn't stop thinking about it. Renako insists that anyone would comfort her, but Mai disagrees. It was Renako that made her feel seen. Even as Renako tries to deflect, the blush on her face gives her away, and Mai thinks that Renako feels the same way despite Renako constantly denying her feelings. Mai then asks if the problem is because they are both girls. The question makes Renako pause. She starts to really think about it. Before she can fully collect her thoughts, Mai steps in front of her and asks if she still has a chance. Renako tries to stay firm as she explains that what she truly wants is a best friend. She isn't ready for anything more than that. Mai then wonders aloud why they can't just be girlfriends instead. Renako answers by pointing out the downside of being in a relationship. If they ever break up, things would change and everything they've built might fall apart. Her words hit Mai hard. The look on her face becomes disheartened from the sudden rejection. Realizing she might have been too harsh, Renako softens her tone. She tries to explain herself better and says that she still wants to stay close to Mai. Hearing that, Mai's expression brightens again. Then, with her usual boldness, she proposes a compromise. That evening, Renako returns home and takes a long soak in the bath, her mind still busy thinking about what Mai suggested. On some days, they would just be friends, but on other days, they'd act like a couple. This way, they could see for themselves whether they were better suited as friends or as lovers. The thought of dating Mai causes Renako's face to heat up. Mai had promised that she'd use the couple days to prove just how amazing it would be to date her. Renako figures that Mai just wants to turn it into a contest and use it as a way to win her over. Even so, Renako loudly declares to do her best. She and Mai will end up staying as friends. By the third day of their new arrangement, Renako is irritated. They had agreed that if Mai wore her hair tied up, they'd act like friends, but if it was down, they'd be a couple for the day. Mai had worn her hair down for 3 days straight, stacking the odds against Renako from the start. As if to make things worse, Mai pulls her in close and says they've already been friends for 2 months, so it's only fair that they try being a couple a little longer. Renako tries to push her away, nervous they might get caught while they're still in school. Mai doesn't seem to care, clinging to her affectionately like a golden retriever. Renako can't help but wonder what Mai even sees in her. Her thoughts are cut short when Mai calls her cute for being insecure and holds her tighter, causing Renako to turn beet red. Flustered and overwhelmed, Renako finally pushes her away harder this time and scolds her for being so smug and acting like everything will just go her way. Despite that, she reaches out and affectionately pats Renako on the head, telling her to back down from their little battle. But Renako refuses, standing her ground and trying to leave the restroom. Mai only smiles at her feisty response and admits she likes this side of Renako. Back in the classroom, Renako is met by Ajizai, who casually brings up the topic of dating. She asks Renako what kind of person she'd rather date, though before Renako can answer, Ajizai adds that kindness and care matter more than wealth. Renako gives her a tired smile and says that whoever ends up dating her would be pretty lucky. Ajizai responds with a dazzling smile that takes Renako by surprise, and for a moment, she honestly believes Ajizai might be an angel in disguise. She even admits to herself that if it had been Ajizai who had confessed to her instead of Mai, she probably would have considered dating her. The quiet moment is interrupted when Mai, Kaho, and Satsuki enter the room, their energy immediately filling the space. They join the conversation quickly, and Kaho brings up the idea of hanging out after school. Satsuki, however, turns the offer down, saying she wants to focus on studying so she can finally beat Mai in her studies. Renako agrees to hang out without thinking, but soon after, the nervousness starts to rise inside her again. Mai, noticing this, steps in and proposes they postpone the hangout. Renako's eyes widen. She realizes that Mai had said that for her sake, and the thought that Mai could be such a thoughtful and caring girlfriend causes her to blush. Mai then encourages Kaho to study as well and tells Satsuki she'll be cheering her on, though she jokingly adds that Satsuki will never actually beat her. The teasing makes Ajizai smile as she recalls that Mai and Satsuki have been childhood friends. Then Kaho suddenly turns to Renako and asks if something happened between her and Mai. Renako quickly denies it, but Mai just gives her a knowing, playful look. Kaho isn't convinced and points out how Mai has been giving Renako flirty glances all day. Taking the chance to tease her further, Mai wraps her arms around Renako and declares that she's gained a new fan recently, and it is Renako. Kaho jokingly acts hurt, claiming she's supposed to be Mai's #1 fan. Renako's face turns red again, struggling to process everything that's just happened. After school, Renako is surprised to find herself in a VIP swimming pool instead of the cozy cafe she was expecting. She scolds Mai for bringing her there without warning. Mai simply says that the tea served by the pool is excellent, which only causes Renako to panic more, thinking about the cost. Mai casually reassures her that everything's free for members and she has already signed Renako up as a member, meaning she can access the pool and its snacks anytime. Still overwhelmed, Renako gives Mai a long look and notices that she's changed into a rather alluring swimsuit. Mai, looking as confident as ever, invites Renako to swim and take advantage of the facilities. But Renako refuses, growing quiet as she admits her discomfort with wearing a swimsuit due to her insecurities. Mai seems to understand immediately. She tells Renako that she hadn't planned on swimming either. If she did, she would have to tie her hair, and that would switch them back to being friends, officially ending their date. Instead, she stays seated, and the two quietly enjoy their tea in the peaceful poolside atmosphere. Renako thanks her for the thoughtful date and the luxurious experience. Mai simply gives her a smug smile and says she was just doing her job as Renako's partner. As their date ends, Mai walks her to the train station. Before parting ways, Renako asks Mai to tie her hair up tomorrow. Mai promises with a smile, then unexpectedly leans in as if to kiss her. Renako panics and turns away, flustered, reminding her that they've only been dating for 3 days. Instead of pushing further, Mai gently pulls Renako's hand away from her face and gives her a soft kiss on the nose, assuring her she would never force anything on her. Renako immediately dashes to the platform, overwhelmed and bright red. Finally, away from Mai, she makes a vow to herself that tomorrow, when they're friends again, she'll do everything she can to prove that being friends is way better than being lovers.